Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Money podcast, your source for all things money. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today is a very special reunion 2020 episode. What is that? That's when I bring on a guest that I had on in the past, but I liked him so much I had to bring him right on back. So today's guest is Kyle Mitchell, and he's Principal and Managing Partner over at Limitless Estates. Kyle, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be back on.
All right, so I'm excited to get into this webinar that you're hosting later in February, but before we do that, I don't want to assume that all our new listeners caught your first show, so let's just start with what you're doing over at Limitless Estates. Tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me back on, and happy to be here. And our company does multifamily syndication in the Arizona markets. And so what multifamily syndication is we pull money from passive investors and our own money, and we buy larger apartment buildings that we typically would not be able to do with our own funds. And so by doing that, we're able to provide a return for our investors and also buy larger apartment buildings that are maybe struggling or operated inefficiently, put money back into them, and get them cash flowing and operating the right way.
Let's talk a little bit more about the Arizona market. So what's the, I mean, you've been there for a while. What's your thought on opportunities there? I mean, is there good inventory? Is there not? I mean, give us a little bit more on what's going on in Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona is a fantastic market, and we focus on Phoenix and Tucson, which are, the two major markets out there. And they're two completely different markets, but we love both of them for many different reasons. But Arizona in general has been an extremely hot market when it comes to all the, market factors that you want to see in an investment market. Population growth is, top in the nation. Rent growth is top in the nation. Net in-migration is also top. But the one thing I really love about Arizona, both Tucson and Phoenix, is the job diversity out there. I would say 12 years ago in 2008, both of those markets were not very well diversified on the job front. And over the last 10, 12 years, they've done a really nice job of diversifying and therefore being a much stronger market to invest in. Back in 2008, Arizona was known for construction jobs mainly. And so, when the crash hit, all those jobs went away, and Arizona really took a big hit. So they're one of the later markets to kind of recover from the recession. So I do think there's some legs and runway remaining in this market. As far as inventory is concerned, it is tough to find because it's a super hot market, right? Investors are coming in there. You've got a lot of California money coming in there. But there's no market in the U.S. where it's a good market to invest in, where it's easy to find deals, I would say.
Awesome. So what are the types of deals you go after, like size of apartments, scope? Like give the listeners. We have a lot of California audience listening right now, and I know Californians like investing over there, and they're always looking for things and ideas and what's going on over there. So what's the size? What's your kind of like niche there? What's the sweet spot?
Yeah, we have two different business models, the main one being 100-plus units, and they must be value-add type of investments. And what value-add means is something that's either mismanaged or running inefficiently that we can add value back in by either, implementing our systems or putting money back into the property, fixing deferred maintenance, pushing up some rents by, putting interior renovations together. So that's our main model, and by doing that, you can force the appreciation. You don't have to wait for the appreciation to come to a given market. So that's our main model. Hold time is about 5 or 6 years, and that's a typical syndication. We have one other model where we focus on under 50 units, and they're basically fix and flips of smaller multifamilies. We only do that in the Phoenix market because I think that market more tends to has more opportunity, I would say, in that field. But basically, it's a 9 to 15 month hold. We try and vacate it very quickly, if not altogether, put a bunch of money back into the property, getting it running efficiently, get the rents going. But we really beautify these properties and make them almost turnkey, and then sell them to an end buyer.
Let's get into the webinar you have coming up. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, sure. It's a 128-unit case study, and we like doing these case studies because we get to show, either passive investors or even active investors, anyone who wants to learn about syndication in general, the process that we went through to acquire a property. So from start on how we were able to locate and find the property, how we underwrote it, what the business plan was, the type of properties we look for our syndication model, and also, most importantly, kind of the wins and challenges that we're going through. There's no one investment where, it's a perfect investment and you don't have any challenges. And so we like to walk people through some of the challenges that we faced so far so they can learn from those challenges as well. So really excited for the webinar. It's on Monday, February 24th. And we'll be going over, it's about an hour long, and we'll also have Q&A so anyone can ask any questions about the process and what we went through.
What kind of content can the viewers expect to get out of it? Let's just go a little bit deeper just so they know, because not everybody's been, I've been on quite a few of these, but not everybody's been on a case study of this, of what it takes to get a 100+ unit property, and it's pretty interesting in my opinion.
Yeah, we go in detail on the business plan is where we focus most of our time, but like I mentioned, they could ask any types of questions, and we'll even talk about how we acquired it. But the business plan on why we like the property, pictures of what it looked like before, pictures of what it looks like now, and then also,
awesome.
Some renderings of what we plan on having it look like in the future, but really digging in deep onto why we thought it was an opportunity and how we're going to take advantage of that opportunity.
Man, I love it. It's great. It's almost like they get to be like another team member in your shop. Like they're like looking over the shoulder of how you did it, why you made the decisions you made. I mean, that's such an amazing, invaluable thing that you're doing for experienced real estate investors, but also for that are thinking about getting to that point, but also for people that are novice and they just want to get to know the company, the thought process, the founders, and how they're making their investments to potentially think if they ever want to join in on the deal or attempt to. So no, that's all great stuff, Kyle. Love what you're doing there. So I'm going to put the link to I'll make sure that my team puts the link to your to the webinar in the show notes. So that'll be taken care of there. But if people are listening to this and they want more information just in general on Limitless Estates, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Yeah, I'd head to our website, which is limitless-estates.com. We have a free passive investors guide on the website that you can sign up for, and that basically walks you through kind of A to Z, the things you need to know before you invest passively in the syndication.
Love it. Well, hey, Kyle, it's been awesome catching up with you again and having you back on the show. So great stuff there, and love what you're doing with the webinar to provide such valuable content to potential investors and investors out there alike. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Money, don't forget to subscribe there, but also give us some comments on the video and let us know what you thought. Let us know where you're investing and what you have going on in real estate. Love to continue the conversation and take it over to the YouTube community. And Kyle, thanks again for coming on the show.